So a little recap over our last session. The heroes continued their pursuit of the other two supernatural items on their list, the Lament Configuration and the Necronomicon Ex Mortis. They've been alerted that Baron Zemo may currently be in possession of the Lament Configuration at a concentration camp located in Poland by the name of Saragora. Peggy Carter has given them a mission on their journey into occupied territory to protect a British undercover agent by the name of Heinrich Bruhl from assassination on board the train to Poland. During the journey so far, the heroes have sussed out several passengers, several of which are a bit seedy, and discovered that the SS officers traveling with Bruhl are protecting cargo in a locked bank car. Mr. Arcane discovered the contents of the car contain a very hairy and pissed off Canadian in a cage by the name of James Howlett. As the heroes discussed the new hitch in their plans, they were alerted to movement outside the train and thwarted the assassination attempt on Bruhl, confronting several young girls dressed all in black, the group of ballet dancers they had seen earlier in one of the train cars. One of the Nazi agents has at this point been knocked out cold in his bed. Several of the girls were cast off of the train from the rooftop battle with Bombshell and their newest team member, so far known only as Steve. And Flux confronted one of the ballet assassins, Victoria, alerting her to the fact that Bruhl may not be who they think he is. Victoria and her partner, Eva, leapt out of the window to discuss the confrontation with their handler. So right now the team is currently slightly separated. Bombshell and Steve on the roof of the first-class sleeper car with a pair of bound preteen assassins, and the rest of the party below them with a KO'd SS officer. So I will leave it in your hands, and you just let me know what y'all want to do.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so as I recall, Flux and I are in the car with the two of them, right?
The two girls leapt out the window. That was
Yeah,
kind
they
of the
bolted.
last thing that happened, and they said that they were going to go speak with their handler.
Right.
So that was the last thing that happened before we ended last time.
Did they come up top?
They did not.
Damn it. All right, let me think. Let me rein my brain in and do a bombshell. Okay. She's just gonna hop over Katarina here, down to the joint between the two cars, and then just go inside.
Okay.
Because they can't do anything right now. She doesn't really want to leave them up there to freeze to death either, so she's probably planning on going back up. But she needs to talk to people and find out what the heck's going on.
All right, and that will bring you into this area right there.
So Bombshell walks in. She's in her nightgown, which is torn and bloodied. Or slashed and bloodied, I should say, not torn.
And Human Tank is in the hallway there as you come around the corner. So Tank, you see Bombshell come in a little bit disheveled.
Yes.
And
also
bloody.
soggy. Yes.
Ever so slightly.
Yeah. So, a bit of a kerfluffle up above. Also, did somebody enlist a ghost?
All right.
Ghost? No, I ain't seen no ghosts. At this point, it wouldn't surprise me much.
Well, I was fighting a bunch of black-clad assassins.
Yes.
On the roof of the
Actually,
train.
lowers his voice, whispering. Mr. Arcane's whispering.
As she draws closer, she'll lower her voice. And a glowing figure appeared and started like chaining them to the top of the car. There's still 2 of them up there. What is going on? Is everything okay down here?
Well, sort of. I can't really. I had a good idea, but a little too late to deal with it now. I think that might have been, you know, I point at Mr. Arcane. He does that stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, but
That was not me. I
oh,
was here.
oh, all right, huh?
Ah,
Right.
Out of character, do I know about the Canadian in the cage in the car?
We discussed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I just had a good idea about what to do about him.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So I just sneak over to the train, the coupling, right?
No, not here.
And then 2 seconds, I transform into my, handsomer self, break the coupling. He's free. He
point
can
the
deal
other
with it.
room, the other car. They're still sleeping over there.
I'm talking quiet. I'm talking real quiet. And I'm in my human form. So
Okay, the bank car that has him in it is all the way down here.
Yep.
yeah. I mean, obviously, I just need to sneak and wander a little bit. But
Yeah.
just a thought I had.
You might want to break him out first. I don't know.
I'm good with. I'm fine with that. There
Yeah.
could have been a. I mean, for that matter, I could. Well, he keeps pointing back to their sleeper car because we don't know when they're going to wake up.
Flux speaks up to you guys momentarily. I tell you what, I think Mr. Arcane has a bit of a point here. There's a lot of us here in this car. They're still asleep next door. Perhaps you all should go somewhere else to discuss this. I'll keep an eye on Brule and figure out what happened to our other compatriot, the new one, Steve. We got to do something with those girls up on the roof if they're still up there.
Working on that right now.
I could go up there.
I really don't like hitting girls or even possessed nuns.
I've got it.
I could go set them free if they've been
Okay.
shot by a ghost.
Are they on our side?
Yeah.
Or I could go with you.
Sure.
And Lizard, you asked if they were on your side.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean-
no, they're not on our side. I don't think, right? He points at Bombshells, who's, injured.
I don't know. They did say don't get in the way.
I mean,
Getting in the way is kind of what I do.
I mean, yeah.
And I understand that we gotta protect one of these guys.
yes.
You might want to give Flux back her pistol.
Oh, right, yeah.
If she's gonna babysit our
No.
VIP.
Yeah, so Lizard, is it all right if Flux takes her pistol back from you? I think she had given it to you.
Yeah, so I could be, useful without necessarily. Actually, I have my own pistol if I'm in my human form. So yeah.
All right.
Rocket. Yeah, I hand it back to her. Come on, come here. Be a good
Okay.
kitty.
Well, then when Mr. Arcane steps into the connector between the cars, he'll start floating up.
Mhm. Yep, and sure enough, there are 2 girls that are bound by chains to the top of the roof.
Okay. Kind of forget how that happened, but
Is the glowing guy still there?
No, he
Okay.
has disappeared as well.
He was right over there.
But I mean, that's fine. Mr. Arcane wasn't there, so that, I mean, it's perfect that I I don't actually remember that. So.
Now you just think she's insane. No, it's cool. It's cool.
So he floats, a good 10 feet above, and keeping pace with the car, which is easily within my flight. And so I'll look at these chains. Are they physical metal chains?
Yeah, they seem to be made of, at your best guess, iron.
Mhm.
Oh, iron. I might be able to even break those. But
Well,
I'll let you do it if you can.
I'll float over here between the two of them, and let's see. I don't know if they speak. Let's see. So right now we speak German,
Hmm.
but I'll speak in English because I prefer English. And I'll say, if I set you free, you go back to where you came.
Um, Anastasia, over to your left,
Mhm.
looks at her sister across from her, and they meet eyes. They look back at you, and Anastasia simply nods.
So they're just metal chains. Are they bound to the top of the roof?
Yeah, they are bound to the top of the roof. So it's got probably maybe about 3 feet of chain that are attached to their wrists.
Okay. Well, if it's just a metal chain, I'll just use bolt of bedevilment and just blast the chain as it links to I guess, the roof of the car.
Hmm.
So he holds his hands apart, and there you hear this. You see this green energy form and this kind of growl. It is kind of like a tiger's roar or whatever, and he'll. Oh, well, that's not great.
But that's okay. I'm going to hand wave that roll anyway. This is out of combat, so
Okay, so he
just
he focuses his arcane energy, his mystical energy, and blasts the two chains, and then he hand waves them. Now, go on now.
yeah. And as soon as they are free, they scurry back down to the coupling, and then they disappear into the sleeper car
Okay. And I'll make sure they don't. So that would be, I guess, technically over
up
here.
here. Yeah.
But I'm
Hmm.
sure they don't go, towards uh, Heinrich's
Well,
car.
Hmm. Yep. They run through the hallway of the sleeper car there next to them.
Okay. And I'll float here to make sure Bombshell gets down.
yep. She hops down.
And I'm just moving those tokens out of the way there just to get them out of the way.
Okay.
And then I'll wait because I don't know exactly where those girls went, but let's see. Well, I guess Bombshell looks like she did. So, I mean, the jig is up there. So,
Well, fortunately, I believe her bunk is right here,
Hmm.
so she can get changed.
all right. Well, you know what? I guess I'll wait here so that I'll be in earshot of if Flux needs something.
Hmm.
But I mean, I think we think that's over.
If you wait for a little bit just to see if anything happens, everything kind of goes quiet there after a while. Flux takes a position in the hallway outside and is basically just kind of hanging out there and just listening intently
Okay.
at both doorways just to make sure. She went in and closed the window to Franz's room and left him knocked out in the bed.
Okay.
And is just kind of taking a position outside there, and she kind of gives you the thumbs up, and basically just lets you know if anything happens, she'll come and get you.
Okay. All right. So now are we alone in this car now, or are there other passengers in this sleeper car?
There are some other passengers probably sleeping inside those rooms, but because it's a train, those walls are pretty soundproof, so you can speak freely in there.
Probably a lot of like noise too, right? With the tracks and all
Right.
that.
Hmm.
Wind. Okay, so once we're together, so sorry, Tank. So you want to basically uncouple that last car?
Sorry, was needing to flip from my character sheet back to that bit. Yeah, I figure that way he gets away, and we don't gotta, have him fight his way through the rest of the cause or mess up our little thing we got with the guy we're trying to protect. He's free. He ain't gonna go to no POW camp.
Yeah.
I figure anyone they got chained up like that is a pretty tough bastard. He could probably survive on his own.
Well, I mean, I can easily. Chris, what's the weather like outside? It's
It's
nighttime, right?
nighttime and snowy. Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of
Mhm.
cover, right?
Seems to be.
Okay. So I mean, I could easily, and I point to the window. I could easily dive out the window, fly back there, blast the coupling to that car, um, make my way into the, follow the car, right?
Yeah.
As
Oh,
it was
that'll work.
moving.
Yeah. That way, at least
Blast
he
my
knows
way,
what's going on, as opposed to
Yeah.
just feeling the rest of the train zoom away from him.
yeah, blast my way in, free him, and then I could catch back up.
I mean, I don't know nothing about this guy, but my thought is, if the Nazis want him, we don't want him to have him.
No,
Right.
exactly. And you know what? Honestly, anybody chained up like that, clearly they're worried about.
Well, and there's something, let me just tell you, I've never, ever, never had, I mean, I'm not sure if he's a fellow mystic, but he saw me. And I've never had, the only people I've ever had that happen with were other mystics. Although I didn't get that sense from him, but
Or did they have any, like every other time we've had to deal with, this magic stuff, there have been glowy signs and scratchy things and, weird, scribbles and crap. Do they have any of that around them?
no, I'm fairly familiar with the trappings of the arcane. No such thing. There were no wards. There,
He
he
sounds
had
really interesting.
no sense of that to him or about him. So I'm puzzled, but I agree with you. If they want him, I don't want them to have him.
Yeah, no. Kind of curious about him now. He seems very, very unusual.
Well, now that I've met him, I could probably find him again.
Okay.
So we could free him, and I could
Tell him that we'll check in on him to make sure he's okay.
I could find him again. I could send to him.
Take him, like, I don't know if they've been feeding him or stuff. Can you take him some stuff from the car?
As I recall, there was food there, but
Okay.
he looked very healthy to me. He didn't look injured at all.
All right.
Was well, kind of angry.
Well, I've heard things about the way they keep prisoners. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I ain't heard things. I've experienced things.
Yeah.
I was the lucky one out of maybe 100. So yeah, we definitely.
Yeah.
Being out there in the snow and cold is a lot better than being wherever they're going to take them.
All right. So are we in agreement then? You want me to go through this?
Maybe take him some whiskey or something. But yeah.
Do you have some whiskey?
I don't know. Well, I mean, surely there's some here.
Well, the one thing the Nazis, the Krauts know how to do is make beer. There's got to be some good beer around here.
Okay. Well, I look around for some booze, Chris.
All right. Yeah.
She was just thinking, like, the brandy in the cold weather keeps you warm,
sure.
that kind of deal.
Yeah, and you could probably lift something from the dining car. Most likely, you could probably find that unmanned down there.
Well, okay. So how about Tank? You stay near the Baron, right? Flux. Bombshell and I can go raid the dining car and see if we can find some provisions to give him. Because you're right, I don't. I
And
don't.
he's gonna be like, stranded.
Right.
Yeah.
In
I'll go along. I could use a beer too.
Okay.
I'm in my human form, and we're dressed in our disguise clothes, so I shouldn't raise any eyebrows.
well, don't forget, Flux is alone.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, and I am supposed to be the god. So I'll
I mean,
go.
I'm not trying to. I'm not
Get me a beer, will you? I need a beer.
We'll bring you back a beer.
Yes,
Thanks.
okay. So I forget where the dining car was, but
Yeah, it's right down in this area here.
okay, so I'll walk nonchalantly, not of course in my uniform, so to speak, back as in my reporter writer disguise, I suppose. Back through the cars. I guess that's really like this way, right?
It would actually take you through here, through the first class car past Flux, and then down into the dining car.
Gotcha, I've got it backwards. Okay, so we walk by Flux. Where did I go? Oh, there I go. And kind of whisper what we're doing, just so that she's included.
And she reminds you that the other lower-ranking officer, Hans, was guarding the bank car. So she reminds you, don't forget about him.
Gotcha. Okay, so that might change what I'll do a little bit. Are there so in the bank car? I don't remember how to ping. Oh, there we go. Are there windows here?
No, no, that one is completely closed.
Okay.
The door that is there has a small window in it. Yes.
Okay. Is it dark in here?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I could. Okay. So that'll change what I'm gonna do a little bit. But what I let's see. As I recall, there was just like stuff in here, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do, we'll still get booze and provisions and whatever, and instead of blasting the coupling to this car here,
mm-hmm.
I want to come and blast my way in back here.
I might be able to force the door.
Yeah. Okay. I could carry you.
Okay.
And we could make our way in back here because there's no guard in this car that I saw. And
right.
we could like kind of make the long way around the train so that we're not necessarily like flying, over, the car, and come in this way. And then I could, or we could, force open the cage.
Yep. Sounds good.
Or at least free his chains so that he could. Well, no, we'll just force open the cage.
Sounds good.
I think. Good with that?
All right, so you should be able to get back there with no problem. The supplies and provisions that you need, you're able to gather, a little kind of to-go pack for him.
Right.
And grab a bottle of brandy from behind the bar that's in the dining car. And with your flight ability and so forth, you're able to get back there pretty much unseen. Nobody's really looking outside for any interference, and Hans likely has his back to the bank car and just protecting it from anybody coming towards him. So you're most likely in good shape.
Okay. So, all right. Do you want to try and force the door, Bombshell, or do you want me to?
Yeah. Let me see if I can just give it a little bit of shoulder and push. instead of pew pew.
All right. What's your strength?
I believe her strength is excellent.
Okay.
Let me double check that. Yes.
All right.
Is the door metallic?
Yeah, iron.
I could assist
Okay.
her with my magnetism.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And what's your power rank on that?
It is. Excellent.
Okay.
Well, I figured that the lock it can't be too strong if it's iron and it's cold. But we will see.
All right. So you've got a +1 column shift then with Mr. Arcane adding to your strength. So you
All
can
right.
roll on the remarkable column.
Alrighty, rolling on remarkable. There we go.
Okay. All right. With some resistance, you are able to just barely pop it, but you're able to get in there.
Excellent. Hopefully not too noisy. Certainly over the rattling of the train cars over the.
It's less noisy than I would have been.
Okay.
All right, so this is your first time actually seeing it. The car is empty except for this suspended cage in the middle of it that's being held up by chains, and it's about 8 feet by 8 feet in diameter.
Oh wow. This is really elaborate. Also, wow.
So as we make our way noisily, kind of noisily into the car, I'll like hold up a finger, in case this guy James sees us or hears us.
Well, he definitely heard us.
You see his face kind of appear in that little small, like 6-inch window where the bars are located. And he puts his hands up in there and kind of peers out, and you just see these two eyes, just kind of peering out of the darkness of the cage. And you hear him sniff, and he says, I see you're a man of your word. You came back for me.
I said that I would.
We brought you some goodies.
Mm. Yeah, you sure did.
Okay, well, so I was so I was here astrally before, so things look a little different that way. So I want to look around for any sort of like, I don't know, alarms or booby traps or anything like that.
Yep. You can roll a. It could be either intuition or reason, I think, for you.
I think it's the same rank, so he would probably use intuition, but they're the same rank, and I'll use karma because I want to be careful.
Oh, and I forgot I was going to give you guys.
Oh, that's right.
Karma. So you guys all three would get 200 karma points for last session.
Oh, good, because I was like almost out.
I had a bunch that I haven't done anything with. It's just sitting there, other than rolls. But okay, so 200. Let me change that on the sheet.
I think it's a right click on the sheet.
Yep. Right click right on the numbers. You should be able to modify them.
Okay. All right. So I did say I was going to use karma, and I don't have the chart in front of me.
I'm gonna look for any releases or catches that like how you undo this.
I'll bump that up to a yellow just because, like I said, I want to be very careful. certainly don't want to blow them up. Okay, so that's incredible. 56. Okay, yeah. So I'll spend 10, and that'll get me to a yellow.
Okay. All right. So now the intention is to blast the chains.
Well, first I wanted to look around and make sure there are no
Oh,
traps,
gotcha.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
looking for
sorry.
booby traps.
alarms, or I don't
Right.
know. Stuff.
Taking a look around, and with the roll that you got, adding your karma onto it, it looks like it is just simply suspended here, and that there are no tripwires, nothing mechanical that would trip any kind of alarm that you can see.
Okay. All right.
And
so,
I would like to look around to see like how this is intended. Like at some point they planned to offload this guy, right?
Mhm,
They were gonna
mhm.
somehow let him down or something. So I'm looking for like, winch or whatever it is they were gonna use to let him out.
Yeah, there's a series of pulleys that are holding the chain or holding the cage up via the chains for sure. It does have a locking mechanism on that, however.
Okay. Is the locking like key locked?
Yep.
Okay. Does it look like a kind of lock that maybe we could just like muscle?
It's possible.
I could just blast it.
Yeah, go ahead. I think that door was tougher than I originally thought, so this is probably going to be equally as tough. Seems like they weren't messing around.
My bolts are quite powerful.
Well, I could lightning it, but
I have a little more precision, perhaps.
I don't think he'd appreciate that.
Yeah. I have
Now, see, a couple of days ago, she would have done that.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, so yes, if there's a lock that seems to be locking this system, then I could, I'll target that and blast it.
Okay. I'll go ahead and have you roll for this one.
Okay.
I set a beer aside for Tank, though. Just so
right.
you know.
All right. Well,
I wouldn't do that to a soldier. That's just wrong.
Because I don't want to do this all night, I'll spend karma on that also.
Oh, well, there you go. That'll do it.
Yeah.
All right, so you get down next to the lock and point your finger right at the hole and just
Zark.
And it's pretty quiet. And so nothing to alert anyone that anything had happened. Once that's broken, then you can easily turn the crank and then bring the cage down to the floor level.
Good. I will bring it down slowly.
Okay.
Hopefully with the minimum amount of...
As quietly as I can and discreetly as I can, I'm going to use another spell.
Okay.
And I'm going to put up my magnetic shield.
All right.
Because, I mean, I don't know this guy, and apparently they think he's super dangerous because he's inside this big locked iron cage, so a little caution. And hopefully he won't be offended or notice. So.
And as you guys are cranking that down, then it lowers down to the base, and you can hear a locking mechanism on the cage that just clanks and the door basically kind of folds down as the cage is coming down. It's like pressure sensitive, so
Okay.
that as you lower it, it basically opens up the door.
Nice. Double check our guard over there. Am I still seeing the back of his head?
Yep, back of the
Okay.
head. This short, furry little man kind of meanders out of the cage and kind of takes a look around and spots, you over by the winch, and looks at Mr. Arcane and says, "Hey, Ghost Boy, where'd you pick up the skirt?"
A friend of mine.
So they're letting women fight this war now?
Oh,
I wouldn't know.
it's not really a let thing. I'm special. But we
Yeah.
brought you things.
You certainly
She
are
holds up
special, Toots.
Holds up the whatever it is, the tablecloth full of crap they got him. We gotta cut you loose because we need things to stay under control here. We have a mission.
Well, you cut me loose, and I appreciate that, but I got business to tend to.
I respect that, but it can't be on the train.
Well, the business I got to tend to is on this train. They're the ones that put me here in the first place.
Well, we're going to resolve that. You're just going to have to trust us on that. There's other things going on here. But we set you free, so,
Oh, pretty please.
please don't make us regret that.
Yeah, please.
It's going to take a little more convincing than that.
Okay. So,
Shelly's gonna walk over to him.
oh. I didn't pick that up. Okay.
And she will look at him and say, usually dinner first. And ideally a shower. And she'll lean down and give him a kiss. Be nice.
Well, you're taking steps in the right direction, I gotta tell you that.
Pretty please.
All right, Toots. We're here for probably some similar purposes. I'm on the side of the angels, at least in this fight. You don't want me ripping those Nazis to shreds. You better give me at least a little bit of information and the reason why I shouldn't.
I don't know. How does this work in your world? He turns to Bombshell.
Oh, I'm not a professional by any means. I just can throw lightning around and I'm next to impossible to kill. I don't know what I'm doing.
So he waves him over into the corner near the junction between the bank and the other car, so that.
Mm-hmm.
And also we should probably crank the cage back up to where it was. So if he looks in, the other guy looks in, that he'll see it kind of where it was.
Yeah, she'll do that while you're taking him over there.
So we've been sent here on a mission, kind of a secret mission. This isn't my area exactly, but kind of a secret mission. And there's an agent on the train. I can't tell you who, but we're here to protect him. And if you start tearing through all of these Nazis who probably really deserve it, you're going to fuck all that up. Pardon my language. So if you'll kindly hop off this train, I will come back and get you, or meet you somewhere. But I really need you to not give these guys what they so richly deserve. For now.
You're working for the U.S. government, I take it.
Of course.
I suppose the mission that you're working on is classified.
I suppose. I'm not really sure how all that works. You know what? I guess I could tell you we're working for General Sawyer. You know who that is?
And Peggy.
Oh, yeah.
Do you say that loud?
Yeah. He says, and Peggy.
Wait, Peggy Carter?
Yeah.
And
she's my
happy Sam Sawyer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right. I guess you guys are all right. What's your final destination? Saragora. Yeah, that's where they were taking me, I think.
Yeah, I think this train's headed in that general direction.
All right. Here's the deal.
Okay.
I'm not getting off this train. But if your final destination is going to Saragora, I want a piece of that action. Because they're doing shit there to good people. And there's people in there that I know that they're doing bad shit too.
All right.
Okay. So how are we going to do this?
Well, you've done the hard part, which is getting me out of that cage. The easy thing for me to do, I got one of two options. I go through with my plan once I got out of that cage, and I rip the Nazis to shreds, which is what you don't want.
It would kind of throw a kink.
All right, so option 2, I'm pretty good at hiding. I can get lost on this train till it reaches its final stop, and then I can meet up with you where you're going.
I'm kind of game for that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the first one, but and normally I would say yes, but
you know, I think that works.
All right, well, you've done me a real service, so I suppose I should repay you in kind and go for option 2.
Thanks.
I mean, we kind of need you to.
They said Canadians were nice. Glad to see it's true.
All right, Ghost Boy, you kept your word. I'll keep mine. I'll make like you, make like a ghost and disappear for a while. We get into Poland, we get where we need to be, and I'll find you.
Okay. Well, now that I've met you, I'm fairly certain I can find you again.
Let's see who finds who first, shall we?
Okay.
And he heads to the door that you opened here in the back, and then scurries up on top of the cars and disappears into the snow.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll go over to the door. Ladies first.
She'll hop out.
And then I'll scoop her up and fly us, kind of surreptitiously back to our car.
I feel a little silly.
Why?
I honestly just thought he was looking for a kiss. To change his mind. I guess I've known too many soldiers.
Well, I didn't realize what he was asking for.
So I'll go back to Human Tank while all that was going on. Mr. Arcane, I'm going to leave you down where you were there, just so we can kind of do something that's going on while you guys are doing that.
Oh, no.
Good luck, buddy.
Sorry.
I'm mostly listening to make sure that Flux doesn't scream for help or nothing.
Gotcha. So you are in the sleeper car just outside of the first class car there, and you become alerted to the door on the opposite end of the car sliding open and letting the winter air come in for just a moment. And a large man who you recognize as being the Russian that was the male counselor for the girls that were the ballet dancers in the car that you had seen earlier, steps into the car. He shuts the door behind him, and he sees you down at the end of the sleeper car, and he says, "American."
9. I am speaking in German, assuming the spell is still.
That's true.
Still
Yeah, the spell's still going.
Good German, Heil Hitler.
He switches to German, and he says, "I know that you are one of the ones that sent my girls packing. What is your purpose here?"
I'm gonna keep trying the bluff, though that's really not his strongest suit. I'm the I am the bodyguard of I'm Gerald von Panzer, bodyguard to whatever Flux's code name was. I did not write that down, unfortunately. I'm going through that bluff.
All right, give me a let's say reason feat.
It should be fun. My reason is I think typical. Okay.
Oh dear. Okay. You see him take 2 long strides towards you in the car, and he says, "Do not lie to me."
So what are you doing here? Didn't you guys and Hitler, Heil Hitler, run into, have some disagreements a little while ago?
Yes, we have disagreements with Hitler, yeah. But something tells me you do too. So why do you protect one of Hitler's men?
Let's just say I got my reasons, and they're good ones. I can't really discuss this with you for reasons that are very good.
He takes 2 more strides towards you.
I would recommend you stop right there. Let's say I got some beer. You got vodka? We should have vodka like good people and talk this over. He is really trying to defuse the situation.
And I am trying to talk to you. But you don't want to give me information.
Yeah. What do you want with them? Why are you here?
He takes 2 more strides in. I think you know what I want.
Yeah, unfortunately, our plans seem to be at opposite angles. I can't tell you what I'm doing here or why I'm doing it. I'm just going to have to ask you to trust me. We are both on the same side in the long run, okay? And you really don't want to make me mad, okay?
You don't want to make me angry?
You had to put that in there. You had to put that in.
I had to, yeah.
Well, he's the human tank, not the human de-escalator.
I'm trying, okay? I'm trying.
You
while
are. You're
staying
doing
in
so
character.
well. I mean, Shelley would have been so proud.
Well, you see, here is conundrum. I am already angry.
Please, if I gotta do what I'm gonna have to do, one of my other team is gonna really yell at me, and my God, does she have a voice on her? So
You,
maybe we shouldn't. You know, if you
you,
just
you,
wait.
you take your orders from a woman, and he steps right in your face.
Oh,
Okay, well, that's about it. Hang on.
Got to lose my cool.
Oh, well, we almost managed it. We almost kept the cover.
Between the getting all up in my grill, as they won't say for another 70 years, and
I'm gonna about 3 steps.
insulting my good American, Philadelphia manhood, I'm just gonna have to now. Why don't you and I go to the dining car and have some vodka?
Now, did I hear you say you tanked on for that
Yes,
or no? Okay.
I did.
All right.
There's only so much I can take, and the fact is, if he hits me in this form, he may have powers. I don't know. And as I mentioned in my character sheet, he's a little nervous about getting into combat in human form because he's suddenly he's very aware of his vulnerability, and that has had a little bit of a neurotic effect on him. That's neurotic. Just that came through clearly.
I'm glad you clarified that because I heard it wrong.
Now you've tanked on.
He's been good to go for a while now.
You've tanked on in front of normals before, and the typical reaction is one of shock and horror.
Which is what I was kind of hoping would get him to decide, hey, let's have some vodka.
Yep. So you just tank on, and he stands his ground and just watches you grow. He looks a little confused, but he doesn't step back. As you are discussing going to get vodka and so forth, that door on the opposite end opens up yet again, and a very small, thin woman steps into the car and shuts the door quickly behind her. And she says, "Andre, enough." And he looks over his shoulder and he says, "I have this, Beatrix." And she says, "No, you don't. We have our orders. Our orders have been carried out to the best that they can. Step back before more trouble arrives."
I just nod at him slowly, kind of like, you should listen to her. And I am resisting with every ounce of my will the urge to repeat to him, "Oh, you take orders from a woman."
I was waiting for it.
The struggle that my character is going through internally to avoid doing it.
I think he tanked up to avoid biting his tongue off.
Yeah, pretty much.
You see Andre sneer a bit, and a slight guttural growl comes out of his throat as he does so. And he takes a step back from you at that point. And he says, "This isn't over."
Nope, I'm sure you got your orders, I got mine, but like I said, I think we're both going to the same place in the long run. And I will tank off to show my good faith. Well, I am locked eyes on him, the whole... I'm not bowing down from a combat-ready stance. I am just trying to de-escalate, as you say.
And he continues his walk backwards down the hallway towards Beatrix at the other end. When he reaches her, he turns and just bumps her with his elbow. He's probably about a foot and a half taller than she is, and opens the door and exits.
I will say to Beatrix, thank you. That was the perfect timing.
If there is one thing I'm good at, it is being good on the timing.
I'm going to just sort of step back and lean against the door. My point is to protect, Flux and that car. So that's what I'm doing.
She says, "Good luck to you," and
to
she
you.
disappears.
Okay.
All right. So around about this time, that would be you guys coming back.
Okay.
Slightly snow dusted, but not bloody this time.
So we slip back in the window, or no, I guess we've probably come.
Yeah, through the doorway there.
Yeah.
Human Tank is leaning up against the door at this point.
Lightly.
Ow.
So Tank, you hear a little tap behind you.
I am like prepared to, go, metal again, but I quickly look behind me.
I wave through maybe there's a window, I guess.
Yeah, window.
Shelly's waving too.
I believe that the OK sign existed at the time, so I'm gonna, give that. I don't know if the thumbs up gesture did or not. Yeah, a lot of historical research for these games.
No, it's weird, right?
The audio on this comp is not as good as my audio.
You did at least get a thumbs up or an OK from Tank there.
Good. Well, looks like our fourth is here.
Yeah.
All right, so we glide in.
All right.
Dust off. Well, that's one bomb diffused, I suppose.
Yeah, I will give them a quick summary of what happened and point out that I, was extremely calm and didn't break anybody.
So proud of you.
Okay.
But, let them know what's happening, that we have this sort of, Mexican standoff with the Russians, which I know is a little confusing.
Couldn't it be a Russian standoff?
I think that you have to have 2 revolvers with 1 bullet in it for that. Maybe I'm wrong. That might be something else.
I think that's a different game.
Probably.
I don't know. Not my area.
Okay, so maybe I should go spell Flux and let her take a break. I don't know. I'll see. I'm gonna check on her.
Okay.
And she will let you know, just kind of, I kind of told Sean that I wouldn't try to do too much role play with her, but she'll just let you know that, she's kind of used to keeping late hours and keeping watch. So she's got this
Okay.
For the moment. So
Alrighty. She'll nod and smile and let her do her thing.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
And then head back to the other boys, and well, I think that addresses just about everything except for the ghost. But there don't seem to be any answers about that coming.
That's a good point. Let me if you'll give me a moment, I can investigate that.
Sure.
Shouldn't be prepared if there are other forces at work here. So I'll sit for a moment and hover kind of in place, kind of in the corner over there, and I'll try some magic. I'll try. I think it's called mystic detection or something. I have to look for the name, but basically, I'm gonna seek for any other magical energy in the area.
Okay.
And I don't see.
Yep. Yeah, you're not feeling anything on that front. Geo, are you actually with us here?
Can you hear me?
Hey, there you are. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Yep. Hello.
All right. So actually, your timing is pretty much perfect there. So, Mr. Arcane, you reach out and are trying to search for this ghost-like entity that you guys were talking about. And I would say, Geo, if just for the narrative of this, if you want to appear to him, this would be a perfect time to do that.
Is Mr. Arcane alone?
Arcane's alone in the sleeper car right over in here. I can kind of pull you towards him if that helps there.
Oh, shit. You know what? I don't have Foundry run, but yeah, I could roleplay while I get that going.
Oh, okay, sure.
So with Foundry, I just got to connect right to the port.
Yep.
Darn it, I haven't done it since then. Okay. Yeah. So I guess I can just Mr. Arcane. It's me, and then I'll materialize from like a pool of almost, transparent energy, form like a humanoid shape of Friedrich Falkenberg, energy outline, and then solidify from energy to matter. I'm like, hey, it's me. Keep this between you and me. I think you might be the only one that can handle this type of information that I just shown you as to my true nature. The Agent Carter and the uppers know about me, but most people don't, about what I can do. And it's very useful in the right situations, but I kind of want to keep it under wraps because I don't think people are ready for this yet.
Well, I understand you wanting to keep your secrets, but I mean, I would encourage you to trust our colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
They do deserve your trust. They're depending on you as much as you're depending on them.
Oh yeah.
I understand, but I would suggest that you trust them.
Just lay it on the line. You think they'll be able to handle it right like that, or gently ease them into it?
I mean,
was that a gentle ease, the first encounter here on the train?
Well, I mean, one of our colleagues can cast lightning bolts from her fingertips, and another one can turn into a mountain of metal. So I feel like they would be able to absorb what you're sharing. So,
all right, I'm glad that you can interpret my abilities into a kind of not so scary or I guess not so like wild or out there type of a format as you understand it, because anybody else that I've encountered were like shocked.
Well, I am very familiar with things outside the ken of mortal men. And I mean, our last companion was a literal vampire. So I feel like they can handle it. Trust them.
Alrighty. They were going to know eventually. I just wasn't sure on how to reveal it. Most reveals of my abilities have been on rather shocking side, so to speak. People were guffawing.
I completely understand, and I do respect your need for discretion, but in this case, we're going to be relying on each other for survival potentially. So So it would be good to kind of at least understand just the barest of our strengths and our weaknesses, for that matter.
Let me mention one other thing as well. I will ask this. This wasn't like the reason I didn't reveal it right away, but there was just one question. Is anybody in the party a little bit of a socialite, like likes to talk sometimes, maybe letting something slip after a drink or anything like that? That would be the only concern I would have, because I'll tell you why. Word of this type of ability getting across to the other side could be very dangerous.
What other side do you mean?
The other side that we are working against.
Axis, you mean?
Yes, and their allies and whatever else. If they have any type of metahumans or abilities as well, you know what the Axis like to do? They like to gain the most powerful things of every type. They would be looking into it, and then I might be something that they want to study.
Well,
not just personally as a weapon for that side, I'm saying, not just out of my own concern, general.
Well, I mean, you know that Tank, the poor fellow, you know that he was a captive, and they experimented on him for that purpose. So I mean, that's a fair. I mean, that's his story to tell.
I did not hear that. No.
He's been vocal about it. So.
I will not bring that up.
I not made any big secret over that.
Yeah. So,
while you guys are having that discussion,
I mean, that's a fair fear, but you know, it would be. It's useful to know generally. You know.
I mean.
Capabilities.
I'll ask the party what they think as far as how much exposure should we give, transmutation form abilities and things like that. That's what we're talking here.
And for that matter, save for me, they're all professional soldiers. So I mean, they of one shape or another. I'm the only civilian, I suppose. So I would probably be the weakest link here. As far as protocol and things of that nature, that's not really my area. But if you would trust anyone, I would trust that they would understand operational security.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, I'm totally fine then with, for now in the party, only in the our squad, let's just say, showing them what I'm doing basically ability wise. And one quick question: have you run into anybody else, possibly on the Axis, with astral travel ability as well? I wonder if they are looking into that on their end.
I'm not sure. I have not seen anyone while I was on the astral plane. If that's what you mean.
Or you've not seen any of them experimenting with astral travel, right? Or heard or found any documentation, research into that?
I mean, not personally. Let's see, how do we say? I am very familiar with travel on the astral plane, and I've never encountered personally or heard personally of any such thing, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. That just means I haven't encountered it.
So you just basically defined an advantage that the Allies have, both of what I do and what you do, right? As far as we know, they don't do this yet.
Well, I mean, that's part of our mission here, right? The Axis are attempting to gather occult artifacts to gain a mystical advantage.
Yep.
And I suppose that's probably why I was contracted to help.
Right.
That's my area of expertise.
Just the only reason I brought that up is from my past experiences, plural. I know that opposing sides will do what they can to get that advantage, especially somebody as ruthless as the Axis would be willing to go to what lengths. We have to keep that in mind. We don't want them to have our ability, just like with regular weapons, conventional weapons either.
Right, yes.
I mean, maybe I don't know much about. Okay, there ain't no maybe. I don't know much about this stuff. I mean, the magic. I can't even believe I'm still talking about it serious. But it seems that if we got people that can do it, because they got the skills and they got to rely on gizmos, that's an edge, right?
Yeah. We know that they're gizmo dependent.
Well, that's what you're saying. They're looking for all these items, and we got the guy here that knows how to do all that, Houdini stuff, all by himself. So that's where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
And while you guys are having that conversation, I'm going to have you roll an intuition feat for me, please.
Everybody in the area, or?
Yeah. So Arcane got a yellow, Tank got a white.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, let me revise that. I hit IN for intuition, which was incredible, and that's
okay.
not what I actually have. Let me try that again. I'm sorry. Yeah,
that's much better.
Yes.
So much better.
Much better? It doesn't feel much better. It feels worse.
There's a running gag with my characters going back for at least 15 years that we can, whatever game system I'm in, whatever the equivalent of a perception or spot or whatever check is, I fail them. Even if the character is good at it or above average or something, I always blow those rolls in every system in every game. It's just how it is.
I mean, it seems to be fitting for tanks. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Arcane, where you're standing there in this tiny room that you're in, Steve is kind of just a little off to the left of the window. And you see just past him in the window just this flash of like a bluish green light that goes past the window.
Whoa.
Okay. One moment. And does that window open or no?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. I dive out the window.
Okay. Just a moment.
Oh no.
And are you flying then? Yes, I assume.
Yeah, I'm flying.
All right, so you pop outside, and you see moving along the outside of the train a very bulky, clunky figure that is flying that looks a little bit like this.
I'm not seeing
okay. Does it have U.S. markings like the star and all that, or?
It has markings on it. It has you do see a star. It still hasn't come up yet for you, Lizard.
No, I'm just seeing the train. I've zoomed out all the way.
All right, let me see here.
It popped right up for me.
Me too.
It's on the game board. The virtual tabletop, not in Zoom, right?
All right. Yeah, on the virtual tabletop. Yeah, I'll try to explain it as best I can, and I'll pull you to the map, and you'll be able to see him there.
Okay. There it is. Now I see it.
Oh, okay. Good.
It looks like a cousin of mine.
So yeah, big green, kind of an army green looking suit of armor with glowing greenish blue eye sockets and the same kind of greenish blue glowing from like a hole or something on his chest as well. Do another quick intuition feat for me, Mr. Arcane, while you're outside.
Okay, well, now that he's really tuned into something going on, I'll spend Karma on it if I can. Okay. All right. So let me see here. 57.
All right. So you see,
10 would bump me up to a. 57. I'll spend to get to a red. Sure.
All right.
Why not?
so you see two more individuals that are also in flight outside the train. One is a female dressed mostly in yellow that has a cowl over the top of her head and a red skirt. And another female dressed all in blue that wears kind of almost like a bomber type jacket.
Okay.
And she's got a rocket pack strapped to her back. And they are coming up on the train and have not quite noticed you just yet. But off in the distance, as you look kind of forward to where the guy in the suit, the armor, was coming in, you see two more things off in the distance that's coming from up on high, and it looks like a pair of parachutes are coming down.
Okay, so the suit of armor, the two girls,
Mm-hmm.
and now there's two
Parachutes.
Two parachutes.
Yeah, you can't quite make out through the snow exactly what they look like, but the parachutes seem to be red.
Red, okay. And so are they flying towards the front of the train or the back of the train?
They are flying towards the front.
The front of the train.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now that I'm sort of outnumbered, I'll pop back in. I'm like, oh no, something's happening. I don't know what. There, and I'll describe. There's a big. Would he describe it as a suit of armor? I don't think he would know that's what it was. There's a flying metal.
A flying metal thing. It looks almost like a robot.
Well, it looks like flying human tank almost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
except I can't fly.
Girls with jetpacks like VedX had, right? That's probably how he would think of it as a reference, right?
Yep.
Because he had a jetpack too, right?
Yep.
Does that look like his jetpack or no?
You probably wouldn't be able to tell at the glance that you had and the distance.
Well,
I want a
they're
jetpack.
wearing jetpacks, and they're at the front of the train. They didn't notice me, but you should make your way to the front of the train, and I'm going to follow them.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Where's Mr. Arcane now? What car are we?
Back in. Back into the.
Are you with the rest of the group, or which room are you in?
I'm right next to you.
So
Yep.
Right here.
only us here, and the rest of the group is not around right now here, right?
You're right there.
Yeah, they're all right there. Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
Mhm.
sorry.
Except for Flux.
Well, except for Flux, who's
Mhm.
kind of standing guard over our target.
Oh yeah, right. Okay. We should head to the front of the car.
He's not here. He's not here.
That sounds like it's the plan. We're supposed to be acting German too, right? Or whatever persona is.
Well,
Who even knows at this point?
We're
but
supposed to
Shelly just throws her hands up,
Mr.
throws a
Hart,
bathrobe on.
right.
and he's
Let's
clad
go.
in his hero uniform. So I dive back out the window.
Okay. And the rest of you guys, what's the plan for the rest of you?
Going up to the front.
All right, through the cars.
Bombshell's gonna go up to the front of this car,
Mhm.
and then when she gets to the part between, she's gonna jump up on top of the next car and continue on top of the cars.
Gotcha. Lizard.
I will follow without the jumping. There's got to be a ladder
Yeah.
up there, so I'll just take the ladder.
Yeah,
The only
there-
things I was thinking of is getting a power stunt with doing the super legs, but I'm saving my karma for other things right now.
All right. I'm going to activate this exterior of the train here so you guys can kind of see what's going on here.
Hey.
Oh yeah! Oh, look at the snow! It's animated. How cool!
All
Nice.
right. I'm going to get Flux out of here since she's still downstairs. So now all of you can kind of see a little bit what's going on. The moonlight is pretty bright out there, but the snow's coming down pretty solid at this point. So it is a little difficult to see out here at a distance, but you can see several cars up ahead. You do see the two parachutes that are now in the process. It looks like they are aiming to land on the train on top. The armored figure is up in this direction, right up in here, if you can see where that is. And if you need to scan out Geo, if you've not done this on here, you can use your mouse wheel, or I think pinch and zoom if you're using a trackpad.
Got it.
So your armored figure is up in this area here. The two women, the one with the rocket pack is right here. The other one here is flying of her own accord on the opposite side of the train there. And then the two that are getting ready to land are up towards the front of the train, close to the engine.
Uh-oh, that's a big scene.
So I suppose now would be the time to rose the initiative.
I have to change browsers again because for whatever reason.
Oh no.
Oh,
That's just a standard D10, which I have forgotten how to roll.
If you go to the combat encounters on the menu up at the top right, where the two swords are crossed,
Yeah.
then you can go there to roll.
Ah, there it is.
Oh, I just realized I still have the old one up. Let me delete this, and we're gonna re-roll that. Sorry about that. I didn't realize I still had that. I'm gonna trash that one, and then we'll start again here. Yep. Okay, now that should be clear for you.
Woohoo!
Hey, look at that.
+3.
That's it. That's my one good initiative roll for the campaign.
savor it. Should I just roll Darkwing's dice here?
Yeah. Yep. There you go. And then I'm going to roll for the other ones here. Ooh, but they didn't roll great. Okay, human tank, what's your initiative bonus?
0.
Okay. Steve?
Yeah, we were working on that. So right, I had like a loss of my sheet info, so I'll say 0.
Okay. Bombshell?
0.
Okay. And Mr. Arcane, yours is 3.
It is 3, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, human tank, look at you, buddy. You get to go
Wow.
first.
Okay.
I'm so proud right now.
Mm.
At the moment, I don't particularly know who I'm supposed to be punching. But now, with as a matter of basic character, in-character background knowledge, do I know any of these people? Have I heard any news about them? Do I know some of them are working for the Axis or for the Allies?
You can kind of barely make out the guy in the armor. So if you want to roll on the, let's see here. Oh, I forgot I didn't put that in there. Says popularity. On the excellent column.
What did I get? Of course.
Oh, 5. Yep, nope. I have no idea who these folks are.
Well, so I know which car has our dude in it. It's the one that's just in front of us, right?
Behind you, actually.
Behind me. Okay, yeah, well, we've changed the direction. But basically, if I move to the left, I will be on that car. So I'm gonna try to do that?
No, I'm sorry. If you move to the right, which is actually off the map, that would be towards that car.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Then I'm actually in the best position because it looks like they'd have to come through us.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna. I don't know if we have readies in this system, but if we do, I'm basically readying an action. The first person to try to get through us and get to the guy we're trying to protect is gonna get punched.
Make a reason feat for me.
Ooh.
Nice.
All right. And you'll actually get a +1 column shift on that, so I don't know if that would take you to red or not, but that's good enough. So, based on what you're witnessing here, it looks like the two women that are flying with the train are keeping pace with it. The armored individual is actually moving faster than the train, and it looks as though he's trying to kind of catch up to the point where the two other individuals are getting ready to land. So your best guess, it looks like they're maneuvering in a position to where the two women are trying to flank the train, and you would surmise that they're trying to stop the train.
Okay. That the women are trying to stop it, or the other people are?
The other people are trying to stop it, and the two women are flanking it to perhaps be in a position for when it stops.
Okay, well, we don't really want it stopped because we are trying to get to the destination so we can do things when we get there. So I'm probably going to have to start moving forward. I don't know how many areas this is.
You've got 15 squares that you can move. And if you step off the train, you fall off.
I'm assuming I can step over the gap.
Yeah.
fairly easily.
Yeah.
I think that's about 15 squares. And since we're okay, there I am. Like, I moved, I didn't see my figure. And I'm going to tank on in the course of that run. And hopefully I will not crash through the roof.
All right.
I think about that right as I'm activating my power.
How heavy is he? Tanked up.
A couple of 100 pounds, I don't really have an exact
Not a
figure,
couple hundred. You would have
but I
to.
figure he's about
Yeah, I would
7,
think like 4 or 5.
yeah,
easy.
7 feet of heavily armored metal and metallic and
I mean,
flesh underneath. So
Takes weight. I mean,
about 400, 500.
Yeah.
All right. So that's your full movement at this point. Now, as far as action goes, is there anything that you want to do, or are you just going to hold that action at this point?
I'm gonna hold the action because I really, I'm not gonna tear off a huge chunk of train and pull it at a random person at this point. And I don't have any ranged attacks. It'd be nice if I had a barrel, but
It'd be nice if you had a fusion pistol.
Yeah, but I don't. I got fists.
Oh,
Now, because you've moved a little further up the train, you can see a little bit more clearly the two individuals that are landing up at the front of the train. The first guy is this fella right here, who is dressed in mostly white with a little bit of red and blue accents, and you would normally consider that to be pretty indicative of some of the American heroes that are running around in tights, but there's a big red star on the front of his chest. The other one kind of looks like Captain America in a way, but dressed all in red with white gloves, and he does carry a shield, which he is pulling off of his back as he lands. And cuts away the parachute as he does so. And on the front of his shield, there's a white star. So we're going to go to Steve next.
I'll go my full movement rate in that westerly direction and human form. And as you said, we can just hop over the gaps.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now, let me see that ruler here. Standard is it 30 feet per?
I think it's around about 45.
45? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I go 45. Can we do 2 moves in this or no?
That would technically be your max, but I wouldn't go by the measurements that are there. So if you count like 15 squares and you can actually physically move, yeah, there you go. So that would be what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's going to put you about right up in here.
All right. I just go full move and ready. I can't do anything else this round, so I'll just be ready for anything. I'm ready in action as soon as I can to do anything, I guess.
Gotcha.
Not much.
All right, so the woman here in blue, which is down south of your position, she spotted human tank first. So she's actually pulling a pistol out of a holster at her side and aims it in the general direction of the tank and fires. What you see coming out of it can only be described as like a dark energy. It's just this black energy bolt that shoots towards human tank. So I'll roll for her.
Unless it's a special kind of energy, I have incredible body armor versus that.
All right.
Uh-oh.
And this does happen to be a special type of energy.
You asked?
And it actually is going to ignore your body armor and does 30 points of damage. Now, you haven't made an action yet. You haven't called for extra actions. If you want to roll for extra actions now, I'll let you do that. And then you could roll a dodge to try to either lessen the damage or...
I definitely think that would be a good idea. My fighting, is the extra action fighting?
Yes.
Okay, my fighting is excellent in its form, and I'm going to preemptively declare I am spending karma, which is a good thing. How much do I need to spend to bring that up?
Let's see here and that was on the excellent table, right?
Yeah. Will you shut up?
Got to get her up to 41, so if you spend your 10, that'll do.
Okay.
And that'll get you 1 extra.
I will take that extra and I will dodge. I will duck and cover, as they will say, for another 10 years.
Alright, so agility then to do that.
I'm going to spend some more power. Boy, do I need it.
Well, you were right. That was your one good roll for the night, I think.
Shut up, Rocket.
So if you want to take that up to a green, that you'll have to spend quite a bit, actually. So you got to get at least a 46.
So...
Oh, and I'm sorry. Yeah, that was typical. I thought it was good. So 51 would be a green.
Okay, that leaves me with 106 in my free pool and the rest for standard. Okay, but it is green.
Alright, so that's going to reduce the damage then to good. So you will take 10 points of damage.
I think this is the first time all game I've actually taken damage.
I think it is. If you need a refresher on how to do that, if you right-click on your token, it'll pull up your health at the bottom, and then you can highlight that and then subtract 10, and then it'll show that on your tracker.
Okay, I was going to change the character sheet. That would have been a problem.
There you go.
So I look at, like, where the bolt may have gone past my arm or through my arm, and it's like, ugh. That should have bounced off. It did not bounce off.
All right, Mr. Arcane.
Okay. So, do I know who these figures are?
No. Mm-mm.
They haven't been kind of in the news or anything like Captain America has or anything like that?
The only one that you would potentially be able to recognize would have been the guy in the armored suit. So if you want to roll on the excellent column, you can try that now.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Not yet.
Great.
All right. You remember hearing reports of an armored individual that was fighting for the Russians. And if you remember correctly, the name was Iron Comrade. And this guy kind of fits that description. You don't recall seeing any photographs of him, but the description of the outfit is very similar to what you're seeing. A big green armored figure with a white star.
And how many big flying, armored figures would there be out there, right? Not many. I don't think so. Let's see. Back then, Iron Man didn't use them, right?
Right.
Okay, so, and I know he's Russian, and of course we've already encountered Russians who are trying to. Okay, all right. So Russians are here to stop the train because Russians were here to assassinate the guy. He's making some leaps, but that's let's see.
It's the heat of combat, man. There's nothing else you can do.
What's that?
It's the heat of combat. Not much else you can do.
Right. So did I see them land up here or no? These two. I don't know. It's the Red Guardian and Proletariat, but I can.
Right. Yeah. You saw the parachutes kind of float away. So yeah, the assumption would be that they probably landed up there. You probably can't see them from your vantage point where you are right now.
Okay, so then what I'm going to do, let's see, I'm all the way back here. I'm going to streak up to as far as I can get to the locomotive to potentially protect it, because I presume if they're trying to stop the train, they're going to do something to it. And I have, my flight is remarkable, so that means I can move, I think 9, if I'm correct. I think it's 9 areas total, but the first round I can only move like, what is it, Chris, like 3 or 6 or something?
Yeah, I'm honestly not really sure if there's a limitation on that, but I will say, because the train is moving in the direction that you're wanting to fly, I would half whatever your movement actually is. So if it's 9, we're going to round down and probably go to 4, so 4 areas. That would put you up roughly about where Tank is right now.
Okay, well then I'll streak up there to him, and I'm trying to make it to the engine.
Gotcha.
Protect it, but I did see this woman blast him.
Yes.
Well, since I can't see them up there. I could see Iron Comrade, but I'll go ahead and cast a bolt of bedevilment at Night Witch. I don't know if that's her name, but I'll cast a bolt of bedevilment at her.
Okay.
That is incredible. Okay, that's a green.
All right.
And it's just arcane force. It's not like fire or lightning or whatever.
Yeah, what's her ability? Excellent. Oh, okay. So you got
a green on incredible.
Okay. And I know that says Red Guardian, but I just was clicked on him. I didn't mean to roll on him. That was actually her roll. So she got a yellow to try to dodge. So if we subtract 4 column shifts from that, does that put you in white?
I'm sure it must. Let me look. 4 column shifts, incredible. And I rolled a what?
54,
You're
right?
still in green.
Yeah, you're still in green.
Yeah. Okay.
Barely. Just
Yeah.
barely.
All right. And how much damage does that normally do?
Incredible.
Okay. All right. So you clip her. She kind of veers off to the left a little bit, but you just catch her on her shoulder. And it kind of sets her off course just a little bit, and she kind of flies towards the trees, but is able to just kind of barely brush up against one as she flies by. From you, then, we go to Iron Comrade. I'm going to roll a intuition for him.
Trying to stop the train.
No, he got a yellow. All right. So he's kind of been alerted to the kerfuffle that's happening behind him, and he kind of flies up and around and takes a position here, kind of pausing for a moment to kind of pull himself a little bit closer as the train kind of comes in, which will end up putting him about right in here as he takes a shot at Mr. Arcane.
Okay.
Okay, so you see that blue energy that is inside of the armor now start to kind of well up into like an electrical energy. You see his hands just kind of light up like lightning, like bombshells kind of does. And he sends a bolt of electricity in your general direction. So he's going to roll. All right. So he misses, and it goes just over your head and lights up the snow just to the north of your location up in here. So he just missed you. Bombshell goes to you.
Okay, multiple action roll.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be on the incredible table. Column. There we go. Green. So does that give me 2?
Let's see.
Green.
For a green, yes, that would be 2.
Okay. I will, should be able to zap him from here, no problem. Iron Comrade, who just shot at Mr. Arcane.
Now, are you going up to where they are?
Yeah, I can move up as long as it doesn't cost me an attack or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's 15 squares.
Yep.
Okay. And then we will roll at, I think it's remarkable to hit with that. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to spend karma. Oopsie.
Okay, alright, so you fire a shot back and it goes wide.
Okay.
And now it's Red Guardian's turn.
Yep.
Red Guardian shouts something in Russian to his partner, and he takes a position up on top of the car directly behind the coal chamber, behind the engine. And puts his shield out in front of him and just stands there at the ready. The woman up north, Sunbird, is going to fly towards Bombshell in an attempt to try to knock you off of the train.
Oh no.
Oh man. She whiffs it and goes long, so she just barely missed you. And then we'll roll around to tank real quick, since you were holding an action. If you want to take an action now, you can.
There's still nobody really getting conveniently enraged. Would an action be to charge that Red Guardian? Would I be able to get into weapon range and what I have left?
Since we are currently still in the same round, you've moved to the maximum that you can move at this point. Now, I'm going to make a little ruling here because you've got a fairly high endurance. And if you want to make an endurance roll to see if you can pull some extra steps out of that, I will allow it. That would get you to Red Guardian.
I will do that, but I will not
All right, good enough. Green's all you need. So that can get you up there to him. And then if you're charging him, then that's going to be another endurance roll to hit him with that.
So far, that's been one of my most effective tactics. And I will spend some karma on this one. Now, once I've put karma in the saving for XP pool, even though I haven't spent it, I can't then pull it again, right?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Once I decided that karma goes into my save for XP pool, I can't pull it out and use it in my help my rolls pool.
That is correct.
Okay, well, this is going to be fun. Ooh.
Hey, look at that.
All right. 10, that might raise it to a red.
Yep, that will probably do it. That was on the incredible. Yeah, you need a 91. So yes. So it's a potential stun for him. Now he's got his shield up, so he is blocking that attack with the shield. So we're gonna make. You've got.
Knockback.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So you've got. Ooh boy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you've really got about 6 areas worth. So that's actually going to take you way up.
Choo choo.
Choo choo.
Hey, he's gonna be the first guy to get run over by a train while on top of a train.
Run over by a tank while on top of the train.
I mean, okay.
You don't really want to hurt him?
Alright, so that's going to put you at unearthly damage there potentially for him. So I'm going to roll an endurance. And that's remarkable. Oh
no.
Man, he got a white. Okay.
Oh,
Alright,
no.
so you hit him.
Oh.
And he goes flying. And I mean, like, towards the front of the train and just disappears into the snow. Now, whatever happened to him, you're not really sure. But he has disappeared from the map, basically, at this point.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And, I feel really guilty because the fact is we're stopping people who, should be on our side killing Nazis. So I'm not happy about this, but I understand that we have our orders, we have our mission.
All right, Steve, you also held an action, so if you want to take yours now, you can.
All right. Let's see. I am. Okay, I will. Well, got 2 interesting things I can do. Night Witch, Sunbird. Iron Comrade. They're all flying still, right? The Iron Comrade and Night Witch and Sunbird.
Yep.
All flying except for this guy.
I will use my matter creation powers and form, I guess I could with matter creation, a ice cocoon forming around Sunbird with a breathing hole, completely wrapping her in a stick of ice cocoon as I possibly can.
Okay.
Trying to be creative here. It's one thing I like about that, creativity.
And then in order to do that, you can roll your power rank. What is that power rank?
Let's see. Power rank. Let's see if I figured that out. During the week, I think I was still trying to figure that out. I don't know if I have that correct. Let's see. Power rank is so. How do I intuition rank number? I don't think I wrote it on the sheet. Would the power rank be something that I use based on an attribute and then add?
It would be its own. Now, I will say, I know we kind of talked about last time about, not making things too awfully high for this. If you're comfortable with it for right now, we'll do something kind of in the upper echelon of where, the character would probably be. I would say Incredible would probably be a safe rank for you. For that, so if you want to roll on the Incredible column for now, and then we can kind of discuss the more finer points here over the next week.
Okay.
I think
increase over time in Marvel superheroes?
yes, yeah. With expenditure of karma points, it takes a lot of karma to bring them up, but yeah.
Okay. Do I have a macro set dream for Darkwing?
Oh, that was the one thing I needed to do. I was kind of waiting on your character before I actually dove in there to do it because it is a little time consuming. Do you have two 100-sided or two 10-sided dice handy? You're welcome to roll that if you're more comfortable doing that instead of me rolling for you.
Can I just pick two dice from the screen here?
Yeah, probably.
Where's is there a generic dice roller?
Oh, no, there's not. Yeah. So it's just in the macros for me. Yeah.
Oh, that's wild. Let me. I don't have dice. What about an online dice roller, quick?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I could send it to you.
You can just type /roll space 1D100.
Yep.
There you go.
In the bottom, yep. In that public roll section at the bottom.
Where is it?
So,
in the public chat down where it says public roll.
I don't see that on my screen. I see players and then just 1 to 10 macros, and
on the chat messages
oh
tab.
shoot, with the chat tab up. Yeah, gotcha. All right, so I'm sorry. Was it
/roll space 1D100.
1D100. There you go. Sweet.
oh, there you go. That's cool.
All right, so that's an 18. Now,
That was Mr. Arcane testing.
Oh, it was arcane testing.
Oh no, that was Darkwing. No, that was Darkwing.
Oh, okay, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it wrong.
So, retroactively, since you're kind of just joining us here on this, if you want to call karma, normally we request that you do that before you actually make the roll, but I'll make an exception because you're kind of starting fresh on this. If you want to spend karma, you certainly can. I had doled out about 200 karma points, so now you should be at about, I think you spent a little bit of karma last time. I'm not sure how much you spent, but you should be at about 350 probably.
Okay, is karma still your base based on adding up your, what was it, intuition, psyche, and...
Normally, yes, but I gave you a little bit more to get started, so you would have started with 150.
Okay. Sure, I'll spend karma. So every 10 of karma will bring it up on the chart.
As long as you spend enough to get you there, yeah. So where you're at right now at 18 on incredible, that puts you in the white. You need to spend up to 31 to get a green.
Okay, I'll spend 31. 31 karma off of that.
But no. Up to 31. So what would that be? 10, 11, 12, 15. So about 13 karma points.
Oh, okay, I'll do that.
All right, so you are forming a cocoon of ice around her. So you catch her midair, and you see the cocoon then begin to descend down into the snow, and it makes impact. And then you guys are traveling about 35 miles an hour on the train, so it kind of leaves her in a divot in the snow as you go by. Bombshell, I think you have another action, correct?
I do. I would like to see if Iron Comrade's armor does fancy things with lightning.
Okay.
Like take damage from it? You mean, or?
I mean, ideally, yes, but I have a feeling that he probably will absorb it. But I'm super curious, so I want to find out. I'm going to spend karma on this.
Scientific testing.
Yep. Field testing. Okay, we're going to go with remarkable. Wow, okay. Well, good thing I said karma this time.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to take that up to a green?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Is it 20, 30? Got to go up to 30. 36. So 16.
All right. So you shoot a bolt in his direction. He doesn't have any more actions at this point, so he's got to take it. So you hit him pretty much dead center in the chest where that glowing emblem is, right there in the middle. It hits, and you see kind of a backlash of lightning that shoots off of him, and he kind of gets encircled by the electricity that's both in his suit and the energy that you're sending at him. And he kind of falters mid-air just a little bit as well.
Okay.
It looks like you might have kind of
overloaded something, maybe?
Overloaded something a little bit maybe in there. So
okay.
He's certainly got a little bit of feedback off of that for sure.
All right, cool.
So now we're back up to the top of the next round. I tell you what, guys, I hate to do this in the middle of combat, and I'm usually the last one to do this. I think I got to take a bio break.
Yeah, no worries.
So if you guys want to take a quick 5, we'll come back here shortly, and then we'll finish this off.
No problem.
Dreamslayer Studios presents a wide selection of live tabletop role-playing game campaigns, specializing in fresh new independent games like Tales from the Loop and the Great American Novel, as well as traditional games such as the original Marvel Superheroes RPG by TSR and Savage Worlds. Our game master works hand in hand with the players to create one-of-a-kind original stories that are jam-packed with intense battles and in-depth character development that rely on creative and collaborative communal storytelling. So, if you're in the mood for something a little different than the typical Dungeons & Dragons fan, look no further than Dreamslayer Studios' RPG podcast. Available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and anywhere you consume your live play RPGs.
Nice.
All right, well, since it's your first chance, you're first up again. So we're back to the top of the new round. So Human Tank, if you want to go, floor's yours.
Well, is Proletariat actually on the ground, or?
There is a little bit of a drop-off here between your car and the back of the coal chamber here. So he's kind of down in there, and he's trying to climb up onto the coal that separates the coal chamber from the locomotive.
I got a feeling I don't want him to do that, and so I am going to try the power stunt that I have been
Ooh, yeah, power set. Yeah.
thinking about. And this is probably where all my karma is about to go, because I want to use my super strong legs and kind of do a Hulk, 40 years ahead of schedule and land on the coal.
All right.
Kind of facing him.
Super jump.
Yeah. So how do I actually do that mechanically?
All right. So mechanically, what is your strength?
Incredible.
Truthfully, I don't even think that's a power stunt.
No, I don't think so either.
At the distance that you're at right now,
Okay.
you should be able to do that with no problem.
Then, boom.
Now, is the intent to try to do some damage or something along with that, or
basically be there so when he climbs up the ladder, I'm facing him, and I'm going to try to give him a chance to just, scamper along.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So you leap, and coal goes flying when you land. So you're probably about knee deep in the coal at this point. And he is in the process of trying to clamber up this coal hill that's in the back of the locomotive here. And he kind of gets blown back just for a second, just surprised that this just happened. And he looks up and sees this giant human tank up there in front of him. And he just kind of stops and he freezes for just a second.
I'm going to just say, I guess I'm going to be still speaking German because I got the spell on me. I know this is not good. You ain't gonna believe this. We're both on the same side. Our mission's gotta come first. Just back off. In a little while, you guys will be able to do whatever the hell it is you're gonna do. And I'll give him a chance to back away. If he closes, I'm just gonna do an overhand, tank smash.
He looks at you. He cocks his head to the side slightly, and he says, "Do svidanya," and grabs a knife and comes at you with the knife.
Okay.
Ouch.
Despite the effect of the woman with the gun on my supposedly invulnerable form, human tank is not really that swift at learning from experience, so he's going to figure tank is going to figure he's going to learn a valuable lesson.
All right.
You never bring a knife to a tank fight. Oh,
and he got a 95.
oh,
And he leaps up to your height and comes crashing down, dead center in the chest. He's taking his best guess at where a heart would be on this giant human tank. And he comes crashing down.
My body armor protected all.
And he stabs you right in the chest, and the knife goes and bends.
Damn. He's got to feel bad about that. That was a nice roll.
I just shake my head sadly, and I guess at this point, if he's directly in front of me, I'm just going to try to sidearm him off the train.
Okay, all right.
Damn it, Bucky.
Is that a standard fighting check?
I think you've got a bonus, I think, on that, don't you?
Oh yeah, I have martial arts.
B, yeah, so martial arts B, that'd be on the remarkable column for you.
Okay, and I will spend some karma on this. Hopefully I'll have some at the end of the game to rebuild my pool. Oh, okay. So I spend 10. I don't know if that changes the result color or not.
All right. And then what's your strength again?
Incredible.
All right. Incredible.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 40 points of damage then to him.
Still a green.
All right, so you just kind of backhand him, and he goes tumbling down the coal, but he doesn't fall off the train. Steve.
Has the Battle of Stalingrad happened yet?
Ooh, I'm not real sure. What's we're in 43 right now, the winter of 43.
It's about that's Stalingrad time. Take a quick look. I bet you that is. From what I know, that was 43.
It was 42.
I want to make a
42
comment
through
after,
43,
but
February of 43.
Before start.
okay.
So yeah, it's over.
You guys, being stubborn is really good, at Stalingrad, but maybe just once you could be a little less. that is my historical reference for today.
Hey, good job.
Nice.
All right, Steve, it's your turn.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say it is not the time of the season for witches, so I will give you a cold shoulder, Night Witch, and I'm not gonna, if it ain't broke, I'm gonna say, I know, I'm gonna repeat myself here, but if it ain't broke, I won't fix it. I will create another ice cocoon around Flying Night Witch, surround her in a block of ice with the breathing hole so she can breathe, and just freeze her.
Okay.
Hey, can I say?
And then you can roll that D100 again.
The 100 slash 100 slash roll 1D100. Oops.
Ooh, that's better. 91.
You can roll now. Woo, woo.
That puts you in the red there. So you bring the cocoon around her, and it's pretty much identical. Wraps her up in it. Well, actually, no, it will. And it goes down into the snow, sending up a puff of white as it plummets down to the earth.
These ladies are having a cold night.
We got our puns back.
Well, we are a comics game here, right?
Yeah, that's right.
What else are we gonna do?
So now it's actually her turn. And she's going to do something. I'm just not going to tell you what it is. We're just going to see what she does here.
Good plan. Good plan.
Who do something? That is a plan.
Okay. All right. So something happened. And while that something's happening, Mr. Arcane, it's your turn.
Okay. So, I really hate to screw with these guys. But he's the Iron Comrade. I'm going to use some magic. I'm going to cast a spell. I'm going to use my energy control magnetism to bind his arms and legs together. I kind of want to magnetically or lock them to his sides.
Gotcha.
Nice.
To kind of bind him up. That's what I'm going to try and do. My power rank is only excellent. I'll spend some time on this. And so that's what I'm going to try.
Okay.
I'll move to, but I'll go ahead and make my roll. Alright, so rolling.
Oh! Damn it. Okay.
I'll spend my 10.
All right. So you work your magic, pull his arms, legs in together and kind of twist them up just a little bit, and it throws his whole system off, and he starts just spinning and flies off into the trees off in this area right here. So it just sent him completely out of control.
Instead of like in the crimson bands of Sidorak, it'll be green energy bands, right? Because that's his power signatures are.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's obviously done something, right? You can see him making his somatic motions and point at him, and, you know, that energy will streak out and circle.
Good job.
Yeah. Thanks.
Bombshell.
And I'll also move, okay?
Okay, yeah, you can move. Right.
Yeah. So, like, there's not a whole lot for her to do right now. She's just gonna run to the front of the train, I guess, to make sure everybody's okay and handle any residual business.
Gotcha.
That gentleman is on his butt in the coal, right?
Yes.
I don't think she can really see him.
Yeah, probably not from that vantage point.
Not only that, but throwing a lightning bolt into a car full of coal might have been something she would have done a few days ago, but fortunately, the bullet came out.
It took me a while to figure out why you said that she spit out a bullet, and I'm like, what? Oh, got it.
And I don't think anybody rolled extra actions this turn, correct?
Did not. I forgot to do that.
Okay. So then we should come back around to human tank.
Do you know Russian for no ticket?
Nice.
Lizard, you're on mute if you're talking there.
Trying to not have the situation where background noise gets into everyone else's speed. He's going to have to be, you know, he wants to be the tough guy. Okay, I've done as much as he can reasonably do to end this peacefully. If he's below me, then I'm going to basically try to kind of boot him half back and half sideways. I want him off the train, is what this boils down to.
All right.
And I think I will go for an extra action because I think somebody I may want to dodge. That's fighting.
Yep.
And do I pick up the remarkable for the martial arts strategy? Roll value.
That should be your base fighting for that.
That would be excellent. So I do not get an extra action. Do I
All right.
lose it?
Yeah, you do. It's a -3 column shift for the one action you have.
Oops.
Okay, well that's going to kick my kick down to typical, I guess. In a karma situation, I'm going to save it, so I'm just going to kick it out for the best.
Oh, that's the best. Next to the best, anyway.
Wow.
All right, so that is a potential slam then for him. So we're going to roll endurance for him.
And do I use my normal endurance for that, or do I use the column shifting endurance?
That's not not endurance on that. That would be that's still a fighting. I'm rolling his endurance to see if he's slammed, which he is, which is one area, which is not much, but it certainly is enough to knock him off of that damn train.
Not normally a lot, but right now it's a whole lot.
And it should, and I don't know if he takes incredible damage or good damage from the thing.
Yeah. He'll take your full damage off of that, so. There we go. Alright, so he goes flying. At this point, you guys can't see anyone else. So it would be Steve, if there's anything that you want to do, since we are still in the turn.
Yep. I move up as far as possible. Get up there with the group.
Okay.
Do I go 45 or double 45?
15 squares.
15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, 13, 15. Right by front of the bombshell.
Yep.
Are you being non-glowy?
Glowy?
Are you just a regular dude up here?
Yeah, I'm not energy.
Okay. Watch out. There might be a ghost around here somewhere.
I'm sure still saying that. Oh shit! Yeah.
Mr. Arcane, anything you want to do?
Let's see. Well, I haven't seen the ladies show back up yet, and by this point we've kind of moved a bit down the road, right?
Yep.
Down the back.
It's really cold up here.
So there's no other offenders on the train.
Offenders.
Well, that I know of. So I'll range out a bit to go and look and see if there's any other trouble back there. I guess actually what I would do is I would float over and then pause, right? And the train would go by, which would put me, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Cool.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Are you flying or levitating?
what it looks like. What's that?
Are you do you have levitation or like regular flight?
He's flying.
Oh yeah, flight. Oh, cool.
But I mean, what he does is he, you know, hovers over here, you know, upright, and then he just pauses.
Mhm.
You know, brings him, I don't know, somewhere down here, I
Let the
suppose.
train roll on by.
Yeah, it depends on how fast the train's going, but something like that. And I'll look to see if these anyone catches up to us.
All right, make an intuition roll for me, please.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Nope, looks clear to me. Good news.
All right.
Hard to see in all this snow anyway.
Let's see. Are you kidding? I'm rolling terrible. All right, so from out of nowhere, out of the tree line off to your right, comes a blast of heat that just whips past your head. I mean, just barely misses you. But you feel the heat of whatever that beam was. And from out of the woods there, you see Sunbird, free and clear of any cocoon that she was previously in.
Heat.
Is she the one in blue or?
She's the one in yellow right here.
Okay, gotcha. And she has a rocket pack too, or no?
She's flying of her own accord.
Okay, all right.
So then we go to Bombshell.
I would like to roll for multiple actions if I can.
You can.
Assuming I saw that.
I was just going to have you roll an intuition just to see if you spotted that off in the distance.
Let's let's see. Nope, never mind.
Yeah,
I didn't see shit. She's busy bundling up and being like, "This is stupid," and you want to go back inside and get a hot toddy.
All right, so that'll take us back to the top of the initiative, back to Human Tank. So, Lizard, it's your turn.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at the current situation here. So they're fighting off the train.
Yep, and they're probably a little further back from from where they are right there, since the train is moving. But
I'm going to sort of scramble forward up to here. Now, as the train is moving, will there ever be a point where it gets close enough to the forest that I could do something like rip a huge branch off a tree, or otherwise get something I could throw?
hey, sure, yeah. Just make an agility feat for me, please.
Okay, so I missed
Come
one.
on.
I'll have another chance soon.
The snow is taking over. We're full snow
All right.
blind.
Now, here's the thing. Since you biffed that, I'm going to make you roll another agility feat.
I think I'll spend some karma on this.
That's probably a good idea on this one. Yeah, so you're going to want to get that up to a 51 to avoid falling off the train.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
That branch was a little further than what you thought.
That's hilarious.
I better get some good karma for my role playing in de-escalation here. Boy, okay, so that's about it for me, and I'm kind of sort of doing the whole Frankenstein balance thing here, trying desperately to recover.
All right, Steve, if you want to make an intuition, please.
Intuition, okay, is let me see, this giant character sheet. Let's see, it is incredible.
Sounds about right.
And all you need is a 31 to succeed.
Which means you're gonna roll like 12, because that's what everybody's rolling.
In the standard.
Hey, look at that.
No.
92.
Shit.
All right.
Roll.
So you were able to see that flash of light behind you, where Sunbird took a pot shot at Mr. Arcane. So you've got a little bit of a bead on where she's at. Now they are further back than where you see them right now. But if you rush back a little bit on the train, I'll go ahead and kind of move these guys roughly about where they would be.
All right.
So they're about right back in there.
Okay. So Tank and Bombshell right there. I says to them, and I says, as they would in the 40s, right? I says to them, and I says, no. I go, what do you think? Should we put that Sunbird on? Put him in some cement shoes this time? That would be an indication of a certain noir aspect, right?
Yep.
What do you think? Do I bring out the cement shoes to wear?
I think that's a little drastic.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
didn't work.
I keep telling them we're on the same side. Just try to stop them without hoiting them.
No, I wasn't gonna put them into like permanent cement. I was gonna.
Oh, I thought you were gonna whack them.
Oh, we can whack.
I'm from Jersey, hon. You can't go throwing that kind of language around.
Yeah, same with Philly.
The boys I grew up with, that's what they would say when they were gonna throw you into the bay.
Oh yes, I am familiar with your television in these you speak of. I gotta speak like I'm not from around these parts. Well, yes, I was referring to the cement shoes in the way that I did that ice cocoon. Maybe it had stronger material, maybe.
I mean, she seems to be throwing, I don't know, heat blast rounds or something? I don't know. Maybe that's how she got out.
Right. Well, I say nothing beats trying and ask for forgiveness after, right? So I will form a cement cocoon around Sunbird with a breathing hole. Put her in, just like the mob would, except with a breathing hole.
Alrighty.
Their bottom out of that.
Might take her a little longer.
You think?
All right, roll that D100 again.
Guess it depends on what temperature she can hit. What temperature does concrete melt?
70. Okay. That should put you in a yellow. That's a yellow.
Yellow.
All right, Mr. Arcane, you see Sunbird. You see Sunbird kind of flying in at you, and then she just gets enveloped once again in this cocoon. This time it seems to be a little heavier than the last one, and she just immediately goes, just flops down back into the snow.
I bet that didn't feel good.
She survives.
Does? Good.
And Mr. Arcane, then it comes back to you.
Okay, well, she's out of commission again, as bad as I feel about it. So,
She won't freeze to death. That's good.
Wait, that's true. Sean.
The heat
Oh.
jet.
Actually, before you do anything, let me do one thing here real quick. I apologize.
Melting point of concrete is 1550 degrees Celsius.
Oh, Celsius. That's a lot.
Only 15, but Celsius.
Yeah, 1550 Celsius.
Okay. I made the roll I needed to make there, Johnny. You can go.
Okay. Well, since so all the action has happened on this side of the train, and I didn't see any other combatants, or I haven't seen any other combatants, so I'm gonna zip back up to keep pace with the train and with my colleagues up here.
All right.
You know what? Actually, they're trying to stop the train, so I'm getting nervous. Or I think I started somewhere back here. So I'm going to zip out in front of the train and make sure there's not something, as best I can. You tell me when to stop there.
Yep. No, I think you've got the distance on that.
I mean, that's what I figured, something like that. So I'm going to zip out in front of it and make sure there's no I don't know, bombs or the track's out, or I don't know.
Okay, make an intuition.
I'll spend karma on this one because I keep failing. All right, 46.
Yeah, but you only roll colors when you spend karma.
Right?
That's the rule.
46, 36. You know what? I'll spend the 15 karma to get to a yellow.
Alrighty.
I just want to kind of scan, ahead of the train to see, what I. Oh, okay.
Wow.
All right, so you're kind of scanning the area there in front of the train, and out of the corner of your eye, inside the locomotive itself, you see frantic activity going on in there. It's a very small window that you're kind of peering through. In the front, probably right up in this area, right in here. Yeah, in the engineer section, right up in there.
Okay.
So you see that.
Okay. What do I see?
But you can't quite really make out what's going on, but you see frantic movement kind of going past the window from moment to moment.
Okay. Well, I've probably used my movement, so and they can't hear me this far away. So all right. Well, I guess I'm done there for the moment.
All right. Bombshell.
Actually, so
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've been going on the fact that I probably still have my magnetic shield up, but if it's probably been a while, so I'll put that back up. In case, so
that's cool. All right, Bombshell, you're up.
Okay. She will take a look around and see if there's any signs of any bad guys, and see if maybe it's time to go inside and get a hot drink.
Okay.
All right.
She is not feeling this.
Make another intuition roll then, please.
Does she spend karma on this? Does she really want to make this roll? I don't think she wants to make this roll. She's just, she's just like, I don't see anybody.
I'm done.
I think I'm gonna go inside and warm up and check on Flux.
Wow.
I'm assuming that's a result of that 27.
Yeah, probably so. And because of that, let's try something here.
Take a shot at me.
God dang it!
Wow.
All right, well that's gonna call for an agility roll then as well. Oh, come on. You're kind of looking around and just seeing if there's anybody out you're like, oh god, it's cold, I gotta get down, and you are getting ready to kind of hop down, and you hear that just off the side of the train, and you kind of look and see that Red Guardian had actually caught the side of the train after he got thrown off, and he was trying to pull himself up. He made a swipe at your leg to try to grab your leg and pull you off, but he lost his hold on the side and just went flying.
Bye! Don't forget the right!
Damn. How many whites can I roll in a row?
It's like a lot.
The answer's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently.
Judging by what we're rolling, yeah. It's quite a streak we got going on here.
All right. So then we go back to human tech.
Okay, well, we don't seem to have any, visible foes. I'm assuming a lot of the ones on the ground we basically bypassed by now. So I'm gonna look at, Bombshell and basically say, "We done?"
Well, somebody just tried to grab my leg, but he's down there now. He's slipped.
I look and watch whoever it was drift away into the back. I don't really get too cold when I'm like this, but I can't stay like this much longer, so I think we kind of showed him what for, don't you?
Oh, I definitely think so. But I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave Hank up here by himself. I mean, I know he's, skilled and everything, but where'd he go, anyways?
Yeah, you're probably not real sure where he went.
Yeah.
So
She's gonna look around, see if she sees him, and then be like,
I
"Well,
the same, so he could be,
he is a big boy."
yeah, Tank, you could roll an intuition feat and see if you maybe saw him fly by.
No, I couldn't.
Okay. Nope. Yeah, you got no idea either.
Not a lot of peripheral vision in that helmet.
It's not a helmet, it's my body, but the answer is no.
Okay, well, still, those eyeballs don't really see sideways very well.
No.
Steve, is there anything you want to do?
Let's see. So proletariat's off the train.
Yep, he's gone.
Iron Comrade is visible or no?
Nope, he's gone.
We don't see anybody right now.
Directamundo.
Oh, and where's Mr. Arcane?
That's the question. If you want to roll an intuition as well and see if you maybe saw
Whose turn
him
was it
fly
to
by.
watch him?
Feel like
Don't tell me we lost the wizard.
Is intuition roll? Is that count as an action?
No.
Oh, I'll do it for fun then. 1D100. Hopefully not using a good roll. I mean, like my best.
There you go.
That's not great.
It's-
Okay. Yep. All right. Nope.
That's,
You didn't see him either.
you have
So
rolled
that
bad stuff.
that means we go to Mr. Arcane at this point.
I will move back towards human tank to stay within a group in case. Pops up.
Right. Can I see what's going on inside?
Yeah, you can fly up now closer to the window, and what you see at this point, and actually I get to make one quick little roll here. Let's see, haven't had much success just yet.
God.
Yep, still nothing. This is terrible.
Guess what? Another point.
The ballerinas
you-
don't operate trains.
If
That's what I
you
think.
are
If that's what's going
familiar
on.
with oh god, what was that TV show? The British TV show, comedy TV show. I cannot think of this dude's name now all of a sudden.
Benny
But
Hill?
yes, Benny Hill. You're familiar with the Benny Hill music, right?
Yeah.
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 There is the engineer of the train is running in circles around the center of the engine, and he's being chased by Night Witch, who has teleported into the front of the train and is trying to catch him to try to get him to stop the train. And they're just running in circles.
Whoa.
That's amazing.
That's
That's awesome. So how big is this window? that I'm looking at?
It's small. Definitely too small for you to actually squeeze into. The only way to get into the engine is back at the back of the engine, right back in here.
Okay, but she has on. Does she still have on that rocket pack?
She does.
That I presume is
Metal.
kind of ferrous.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. So, and she's
probably
chasing-
filled with a combustible substance.
Well, I don't want to blow it up inside there, but
No, you
what
don't.
I do want to do. Okay, so what's the interior like? So I'm looking in through a window. Is there like a door somewhere, like down?
Yeah, the door is right in the very back, right here.
And so I guess I'm looking at them somewhere up here.
Yeah, right up in this area, right in here.
So here's what I want to do. I want to use my magnetism to draw her and her Ferris rocket pack towards presumably the metal door that's back here,
Yep.
and basically snatch her away from the engineer.
Gotcha.
And yeah, so that's what I want to try to do.
All right.
All right, and I'll spend karma for that. My rank, I believe, is excellent for that. It is. So, roll excellent. Yeah, I'll take that. And I'm sure 10 will probably put me in a ring.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So you catch her mid-stride as she is running in circles in the engine there, and she's running towards the front of the train at the point where you activate the power, and she just goes flying back towards the back of the to the back of the engine and gets stuck to the iron door there in the very back.
And I'll shout. I don't know if you'll be able to hear me. They're really far away in the snow over the engine, but I'll shout, "Up here, up here!"
All right, and you guys, if you want to, you can make an intuition roll again to see if you can hear that.
That's a no.
Well, I may have heard something.
Amazing.
I think Tank might have got
No, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so
Yeah.
Tank, you definitely heard up here, coming from up there.
Back towards the engine then?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I am not the fastest, but I'm going to take off.
All right. Well, we're pretty much out of combat at this point, so you guys can certainly rush up there. You guys see Human Tank go, "Oh, heard something," and start running up towards the front of the
It's probably
train.
going to take me a while to slog through the cold, because it's basically like quicksand to me.
Probably leave it.
So I'll just move myself back here, and people will probably get past me.
Eventually, you guys make it up to the front of the train there, and Mr. Arcane, what you've got a moment before they reach you. There, is there anything that you want to do?
Well, I mean, I want to pull her out of the engine there. So she's kind of, well, the rocket pack is kind of magnetized to the door.
Yep.
So I want to open the door. Does it swing out or swing in?
Swings out.
Swing out. Okay, cool. So I'll kind of try and manipulate the door to swing open. And that may be more than one round, but when the door swings open, I want to take the rocket pack, and I mean, it's ferrous, so I don't have to have it magnetized to the door, and I want to try and throw it off the train. I realize it flies, but that'll get her away from the engineer.
All right, yeah. So as you're kind of taking the rocket pack off of her and giving it a chuck, everybody else is kind of coming up on you, and she's just shouting at you in Russian.
Which I don't understand.
I think you cast a spell to understand Russian.
I'm
I don't know how long it lasted.
It was German that I.
No, you did Russian as well.
Oh, did I do Russian?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
did a
think
second round.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
forgot.
didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah,
I've been doing
I don't know if he got
everything
us with it, but I know he got himself at least.
Okay. I kind of forgot that, so thanks for the reminder.
Yeah, I think you got yourself in flux.
That's.
Or maybe she already spoke Russian, but you didn't, and that's why you did it.
Oh yes,
I think the rest of us were separated when you did it.
when we were in the when they were coming in and they were talking, right? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, that sounds familiar. Yes. I'd have.
Well, she's calling you all sorts of bad names in Russian.
So in that case, in Russian, I'll say, "Hey, I'm really sorry." He's very apologetic. Hey, I'm really sorry, but you can't do this.
Suddenly, you wish you hadn't cast that spell. My goodness, what a mouth on that girl.
And she says, "You American pig."
And so he's like really you're right. I'm so sorry. I'm really shoot. There goes a rocket pack.
You have interrupted a very delicate operation here.
Let's see. So it's in Russian, and I guess the engineer hopefully is cowering somewhere up here.
Yeah.
And I'll say in Russian, so did you. So did you. That's why you deconflict.
Where are my other comrades?
In the snow.
And
They're chilling out back.
She spits at you.
But alive.
And I don't know if you heard me, but she spits at you.
Oh. Feels really bad about it, but hey, listen. I mean, well, he's floating by the train, so I don't know if it hits him or not, but you must leave.
So this is all in Russian, so I don't understand what's going on.
Right. Yeah. You just see her spitting at him.
Spitting is a universal language.
Yeah.
You must leave, and unfortunate timing.
You are letting me go.
If you'll go.
Seeing as how I'm outnumbered, I don't know that I have much of a choice.
This is unfortunate. Unfortunate timing.
Are we working at cross purposes, miss, or are we working for the same goal?
Well, we don't know what they're here for. But...
That's what I'm asking her.
Oh, gotcha.
In what language?
Every language I don't know. No. Which would be, I only know US, I believe, and some other languages.
They speak English. I mean, I don't know.
They might.
She might understand English. Maybe she only speaks Russian.
She says to Johnny, "Tell your tall American friend that I will not give up the details of my mission."
Oh. Okay. We can't either.
That's not going to be...
let's see. Okay. So we don't know them. We know they're Russian. Let's see. The Russians are allies in this situation. Okay. We can't either. But I promise you this is for a good reason. And I'll make it up to you.
I doubt you will be able to do that.
Time will tell. Please go and check on your contacts.
You have thrown away my mode of transportation. Can you at least put me down gently in the snow?
Sure. I like. So is it a coal? Is it a coal engine or no?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's probably more than one shovel.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll float a shovel over. Hold on tight.
And she looks at the shovel and she looks at the patch on her arm, which in Russian says Night Witch, and she says, "This is degrading," and she
Really
mounts
should
it
have been
like
a
a broom.
Hey,
Just hold on tight, and he'll like set her down. As the train goes whipping by, he'll, put her down so she doesn't like hit the ground at like 40 miles an hour or whatever it is.
it's like a sled. It'll be like a sled.
All right, and she doesn't wave. She just lands in the snow and gets off of the shovel.
No,
And
you won't be back.
actually, she does this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Sorry.
She waves the middle finger.
He like
That's
wait.
not very ladylike.
Arcane is not a professional soldier, so he's like, sorry, really sorry about that. It's very apologetic.
Very cold. Very cold.
Ooh, it's toasty in here. Get out of my way.
Everybody out of the way.
Oh no.
I need to warm up.
So for sake of kind of speeding this along a little bit, you've successfully fended off the Russian attack. Flux is still down protecting Brule, and there's been no activity there in that car. You've been able to actually pull this off with very little noise. There's probably a little bit of explaining to do to the conductor, but you're probably able to kind of calm him down a bit and kind of gently explain the situation, that there was an attempted hijacking and that you were able to kind of thwart whoever these folks were that were coming in and trying to stop the train, and he thanks you tremendously for that, and yada yada yada. The rest of the trip actually goes by pretty much with no trouble, and you're able to reach your destination in Poland. The Russians that were on the train, all of the girls that are left, and their handlers really give you pretty stern looks for the rest of the trip, but they kind of keep their distance from you and make no effort to finalize their mission. From the look of it, they look like just whipped puppy dogs, pretty much at this point. When you guys arrive in Poland, Peggy Carter had set up an individual for you guys to meet with upon your arrival that would lead you into the mountains of Saragora, and he meets you there. And he has commandeered a team of horses to take you up into the mountains. You're able to kind of rest for a little bit, and if you've taken any damage at this point, most of you would probably be able to heal from what little damage you took. And on the trip up there, this is probably about a day later that you begin the journey up. As you're on horseback, off in the distance, off in the trees, you see an individual come walking towards you, and it is James Howlett. And we'll stop at that point and pick up from there next time. Now, I'll do you a favor and give you your karma for this particular leg of the adventure. So if you give me just a moment here to do some quick math here, I can get that
Quick
to you.
maths.
Nice.
3, carry the 2.
8,000. So it's just
Yeah, that's about right.
So we're looking at 220 for today's adventure.
Hey.
20 karma?
Yep, 220.
Wow, that feels like a good night for 220. Oof.
Good stuff.
All right. So
Okay,
next
that
step.
replenishes my in-game pool nicely.
Good. So next step in the leg of the adventure here will be traveling to the Saragora, which is the concentration camp deep in the mountains of Poland. The plan here, just to kind of remind you, is to search for the lament configuration, which you believe is in the hands of Baron Zemo. Peggy had told you that there is a tunnel that leads into the concentration camp. It's the only way in, only way out. So the guide is going to be leading you guys up there, but we'll kind of pick up at the point where you guys run into James Howlett when we begin the next session.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Nice.
Are we? Well, yeah, we can do that next session, I guess. I was going to say.
How much does a new contact cost?
That's a good question. I'd have to.
I don't think it's a lot, man. I think it's like pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
But I tell you, I mean, I almost never have my players spend karma for contacts. That would be something that would just kind of come up through gameplay in most cases. And truthfully, at this point, for the two of you that actually have had interactions with Logan, we can probably add him onto your contact list if you would like to. So
yeah, I'm good with that.
This is me fangirling out hardcore.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Actually, I guess we can either handle that next time, or do we have contact with Peggy or no?
I do.
She would be contact for you now as well as Sam Sawyer, if that's not on your list.
Are we in communication with her?
Oh, in communication? No. You had a communication device that you could have used at any point on the train up until you reached Poland, but the distance is too far at this point to be able to contact her with that device.
Honestly, I'm kind of glad we didn't call her, because if we had told her the shit show that had gone on, she probably would have fired us all.
Well,
you maintained cover, so
somehow.
I'm glad you said that, because the not professional soldier wants to call her and tell her, "Hey, listen, bad news."
I've added hairy Canadian to my contact list.
A couple of missions by the Russians, and I feel really bad about it, right? Because we're allies right now. Yes.
Yeah.
There are some tensions there, though.
Definite tension.
Unless they stop him.
Definitely an enemy of my enemy thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless the soldiers stop him, he's definitely going to call Peggy and tell her, like, "Hey, I really think I need to tell you this happened."
It's not bad for her to know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I do.
We have no reason to keep. I personally think we handled it with extraordinary diplomacy and aplomb.
All things considered, you're right.
Yeah. So then I do want to do that before we get off the train, since that's this.
Can we call her? We don't have cell phones.
Well, he said we have a communication device.
Well, but the distance where you are right now in Poland is too far for that particular device to work. Now, I'm sure that there is a way to get word to her. She would have, you can certainly send a telegram.
I may have another way of sending her a message.
Well, you can certainly do that as well. Yeah,
several times. So I may try some sort of sending, but I can do that next time.
You could just astral project over there and just be like hovering over her when she wakes up in the morning. Hi.
That's not right. That's fine.
I was just watching you sleep.
Yeah.
Good morning.
All right. Well, yeah, we can probably handle that at the top of the next episode there for us. So I know it's getting close to time. So
all right, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
All right.
Yep, had a
Good
great
playing
time.
with
I'm
you
glad
yet
we were-
again.
Have
Glad
fun.
we were able to play today.
Yes,
Look forward to seeing
absolutely.
you next week.
All right. See you in
2
2.
weeks.
All right,
All
boys.
right. Take care, guys.
All right. Good night.
Later.